Hey guys, it's Utonia here, and today I'm going to be talking about the Caldari Navy Hookbill, which is a Caldari faction frigate. With a unique model, it looks really cool, and it's based around missiles, so I really like it. It has a 25% bonus to kinetic light missile and rocket damage, a 20% bonus to EM explosive thermal light missile and rocket damage, and then 10% bonus to light missile and rocket max velocity per level. Just a quick note about this kinetic bonus here. Some people get it wrong. They think it does 25% more damage with kinetic, but actually does 12.5%. And mathematically, I'll demonstrate that to you. So with 20% per level for the other types, this is 100% at all level 5. So your 3 rocket launchers are doing double damage. You have 6 launchers total. Whereas if you have this at level 5, you multiply your 3 rocket launchers by 2.25, which ends up with you having 6.75 effective launches, which is 12.5% more. So you actually only do 12.5% more kinetic than other missile damage type. And I think a few people get too hung up on using kinetic damage. Most of the time, you just want to use the exact same missile damage type that you would use if you were flying a Kestrel. It's not worth using kinetic over the right damage type. 12.5% damage is not enough. And a lot of people make a mistake by loading kinetic and shooting it at a shield tank frigate. Or, for example, Tech 2 Caldari and Galanti ships. Just use the best damage type that you would normally load if it didn't have a kinetic lock. Too many people just get hung up on that. With that said, this is my fit. I use 3 Tech 2 rocket launchers in the highs. Compact Microwarpdrive, a compact web, a Caldari Navy medium shield extender, a faint Epsilon scope warp scrambler, and a compact afterburner. The Hookbill is actually pretty tight. There isn't too much resources left here. It's a ship that you always need to work around and have a fitting mod on if you want to make a fit. It's kind of interesting. Of course, you can, if you want to make this fit cheaper, you can fit the compact medium shield extender instead. I think the Caldari Navy medium shield extender is probably worth fitting. It is quite expensive right now though, and you can maybe go for a compact ballistic control unit here, and then swap over to a Republic Fleet medium shield extender or a different name shield extender if you'd like. But I think the Caldari Navy medium shield extender is probably worth it. It is a faction frigate. And then I've got a Tech 2 ballistic control system here for DPS and a micro auxiliary power core for fitting. You can fit a Navy micro auxiliary power core here too if you'd like. And I've got a small bay loading accelerator too, which this is for DPS. It increases your missile rate of fire. You can go for the flat damage one too if you'd like. This one just gives slightly better DPS overall. And I've also got 2 small defense field extenders. You can go for the EM and thermal rigs too if you'd like. That just plugs holes. I think I prefer the just going flat HP, because I don't really see that much thermal and EM damage in the Nullsec meta. Amar frigates are not really all that popular. The only one you really see a lot is the Slicer and the Confessor. And the Slicer is a kiter. You have a pretty... if you catch him, he's going to die to you anyway. Doesn't matter what your resistance is, or if you don't catch him, you can probably just get away, because you are quite fast. And the Confessor... if it's a beam confessor and you choose to fight it, you're going to be going under its guns anyway with your afterburner. The only other EM damage you're really going to see are Acolyte 2s. And you can kill them if necessary, and you can generally win all-ins against most drone ships. That you're going to see, like Tristan, you're probably going to avoid the worm at all costs anyway, regardless of if you had an EM hole plugged or not. So, and those are the only 2 ships you really see that are drone focused for frigates in the current Nullsec metagame. And of course, you know, hybrids do thermal damage, but you have range control because you have afterburner scram web, so you can keep them at 9k, where blasters aren't going to be doing much damage to you, and you can go under most rail gunships tracking with the afterburner too. So thermal damage isn't really a big issue either, and no one really uses Hobgoblin 2s anymore. I guess the only other thing that might be scary to you. Might be EMP or phase plasma, but again, you can kite those out. So I don't really see a problem with not plugging this, but I know there are some people who hate having EM holes. So you can fit the EM rigs if you'd like, but I think just with my understanding of the metagame, it's better just to go flat HP. Also, of course, if you're getting shot by missiles, you have an Afterburner too, so you do reduce quite a bit of damage with that Afterburner if you're not webbed. So the idea of this fit is it's kind of just like a super Kestrel. It's a Kestrel that does more damage, has more HP, and it's a lot faster too. The Hookbill is actually pretty fast. It goes 3.1 cold compared to the Kestrel, which barely breaks 2.8. So this is actually faster than a Nano Kestrel. You also have the Afterburner on top of that, and you go 1.1k cold with that. So this is great for just running camps. It's actually pretty hard to kill this ship at a gate camp unless they have like remote sensor boosted destroyers or a Serpentis ship like the Daredevil. So it's really nice for roaming. And with the Afterburner as well, you can kill a lot of the trap fit frigates that the Kestrel would normally die to. This fit also does quite a lot of damage too. I focused a bit more on damage. I really don't like fitting damage controls on figures if you can help it, with the 33% resists that got added in the March Tirasides. You can fit it if you want to make this more tanky. Go ahead. You can fit a damage control here. You can fit another defense rig. I think this ship has a great balance between mobility, defense, and DPS, and that's what really makes the Hookbill great. In my opinion, the Hookbill is one of the strongest faction frigates in the Nullsec metagame right now, and it's really fun to fly. So I hope you have as much fun flying it as I have. So this is a fight against Hecate. He landed on the gate while I was cloaked. In retrospect, I should have probably looked at his ship and tried to decide what guns he had. I didn't know he was rails or blasters before engaging here. So I kind of crashed the gate but then burned off to see if he would shoot me with blasters. Hecates have a pretty hard time dealing with scram kiters usually because they have such a low base speed once they're scrammed, since they only get a bonus to Microwarpdrive. And he does have a Microwarpdrive here, and he did start burning away from me, which made me a bit suspicious. That's why I started approaching him, because I assumed he was going to be a rail Hecate, which he was. I knew that immediately as soon as he started shooting me. So I get on top of him here, scram and web him, and use my Afterburner. He does not have a web, but he did have double tracking computers, and the Hecate naturally gets a 33% bonus to tracking. Actually, it's 37.5 because it's a 7.5% bonus on the whole. So he does have a pretty strong tracking bonus, but I am still able to get under his guns. He stopped doing damage to me for a minute there. He swapped over to Javelin, so that he could start tracking me again. The Javelin is the ammo that gives 25% tracking, but he's still losing DPS, and I'm able to win the DPS race against him, and I win in half shields. That just goes to show you that the flexibility and the power of the Hookbill with the dual prop. This next fight isn't really anything special. Some dudes were shooting my bubble, which I had on the other side. I just killed it. And there was a Malediction on the gate, and he followed me, but his friends can't follow because they have aggression timers from killing my bubble. So I figured I'd decloak and see what the Malediction does, and he decides to go for me. It's a CO2 Malediction. He does a pretty good job of kiting me away. I almost get him here. The Hookbill is pretty quick. It does go 4.5k a second with heat. Microwarpdrive goes 3.1 cold. So he ends up getting away from me, so what I do is I go for a slingshot, I double click behind him, so then that way, since I think he's using a default orbit, or maybe if he was manually piloting and he wants to keep me for his friends, which are still on the other side, they still have about a 30-second timer on the weapons timer though. He probably wants to hold me down for those guys, so I come back in, manage to slingshot him and get a scram web on him, and you know, not really a super special kill, killing a tackle Malediction, but it goes to show you that the Hookbill is not slow like the Kestrel is, and you can get kills on these tacklers that, you know, the Kestrel with its slow speed normally struggles with. And I'm able to kill this guy and pot him and warp off, and just as his friends start coming into the system. This next fight is prearranged, and it is not really all that special as well. I'm against a Atron in Brave Newbies. This guy does have max skills though, and he has Tech 2 guns, etc. Like, it's not just a random tackle Atron. So in a ranged fight, he has Afterburner only though, and what I really want to show here is the Hookbill gets around the weakness that the Kestrel has when dealing with these kind of things. Normally, like, a Kestrel would be like absolute mincemeat here in this fight. Whereas the Hookbill, because the Hookbill has an Afterburner and it's quite fast itself, it's just able to pull range and get away from this Afterburner only, low sec style brawling Atron, and just pull range and kill it. Otherwise, a Kestrel would have a lot of difficulty fighting an Atron like that. Although the Hookbill has a lot of really good damage mitigation, you can't actually go under the guns of a Coercer, unfortunately, with a 50% tracking bonus. I died to this Coercer, it's wrecked me. You should probably avoid like any close range weapons that have a tracking bonus. I think the mistake in this fight is that I was too close to him. He has Pulse, and he has Dual Light Pulse, which have better tracking than Small Focus Pulse or Beams, which is probably what I was banking on here. And I wasn't able to get under them. What I should have done, because they weren't highest tier either, is I should have kited him at about 8 or 9 kilometers, so I would force a Scorch reload, and I think I would probably win there. Although my Hookbill is quite bad against Coercers, because it's one of the few laser ships that has a tracking and a range bonus. So, and it's hitting into my EM hole. Good fight to this guy. It was a really fun fight. Oh, this guy's aggressed. Fuck, I don't want to heat that. I want to heat the AB, so I can try and get some traversal against the 4X. Hey, he only has time I had once. Although he's still gonna kill me. He has Tech 1 guns. Am I about to get out? I was seeing if I could maybe loot the Gamma, but I don't have a damage control though, so I might still get wrecked. Come on. Ooh. Burn out the shield extender though. Top mines. He who dares wins. If I warp to the sun, maybe this guy will follow me. It's kind of weird that he warped to the jump bridge at 100. So I guess maybe he wants to fight. Hey, Mr. Dr. Aquafresh, really cool name. Also, Violent Chicken was also another camper, I think, in the same corp. Or oh no, he was a. I remember his name too, for some reason. Oh, they got a Malediction too. Right, this is maybe possible, but it's going to be a hard fight. If the Saber like separates from the Malediction though, maybe. She just did. Oh, they also got a healer coming in on top of that. So I'm getting like some free damage right now against that Saber. Oh, it looks like it's a massive blob. GF. I thought like the Saber and the Malediction actually wanted to fight, but I guess not. Guess we're gonna be blobberinoed here. Oh, the Saber's fucking dying, dude. Are they still gonna lose the Saber? Okay. Thanks for watching. I apologize that a lot of the fights in this video weren't that great from a technical standpoint, but this ship flies almost identically to a Kestrel. It's a Scram-Kiter, you kite with rockets. You can take the Kestrel guide that I wrote and apply it to this ship, except this ship has more HP, more damage, and it's a lot faster, and it has an Afterburner on top of that, so it has even more range control than the Kestrel does. So, thanks for watching, hope you had fun, and check out my other videos.